What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked it out already, just making bad life choices, going over to scoresandodds.com where you got picks from me, Dino, all the greats. Plus, you get access to our nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly where we have project for each individual prop, plus where the best lines are at. And most importantly, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. What is Grant's Action Lounge? Well, it's my Discord where I'm throwing in all my picks each and every day. Just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. I'm going to throw it in the chat right now. We got baseball today. Don't have a ton of picks. It's Thursday, not a ton of games. Decent chance some get canceled due to the smoke. I don't know. We'll see. I have a few picks in those games. I have bets on both Yankees pitchers. Randy Vasquez under 5.5 strikeouts. We're just going to get right into it. -135 at bet 365 here. Vasquez, not any major league experience, not really any major league experience so far. 26% K rate in just one start. But looking at his minor league stuff, it's not going to be that much different. He's not a great strikeout pitcher. He's not terrible. He's above average. But AAA, he had 25%, AA, 24%. He should be right around the 20% range. It's going up against the White Sox. White Sox, below average strikeout rate team. I think he's going to struggle. He's struggled with walk issues, so pitch count can get up there. 5.5, too high of a number. I'm rolling with the under. And Severino, I'm actually rolling with the over. Only got up to 85 pitches in his last outing, but still, I mean, it's a spot where I think that he ends up getting there. I think he ends up getting to low 90s pitches. Guy has a really good slider, likely going to face 2, maybe 3 lefties in the lineup. That's pretty big for him, only be facing that much because, again, much higher K rate going up against righties. Hasn't been great so far this season. 5.5 is a decent number, but I think it's just a bit too low. You can get that at -137 over at Caesars, -130 over at most other places. Chase Anderson under 3.5 strikeouts, -121 at Caesars. Let's see what it is. Other spots, I think you can get it around -110 most places. -110 over at MGM. Chase Anderson has been abysmal so far this year. Not striking out anyone at all. He does get a decent strikeout matchup versus the Giants, but he is a guy that's striking out 11.1% of batters so far this season. Giants are a fairly patient team. Chase Anderson has struggled with control, not just this year, but prior years too. He hasn't really struggled this year, but he struggled in prior years. 11.9% K rate. I stand corrected. Not good. Not striking out guys. Playing in Coors. Coors is the worst place in the league for strikeouts. I just don't see him getting a 3.5. I'm rolling with the under. Graham Ashcraft under 3.5 strikeouts. You can get this +130 most places. I got it +125 over at Caesars, and I think this is actually moved to 4.5. You can still get it +118 over at FanDuel if you wanted to go with 3.5 or -160 on the under of 4.5. He's not very good. It's that simple. He started off this season really well. I think he had 8 strikeouts in both of his first 2 matchups. But he's not a particularly high strikeout rate guy, sitting at, I think, 17.3% since the beginning of last season. Has struggled with walks a lot this season, 9.9%. Just not a particularly great pitcher, not a high strikeout pitcher. Matchup versus the Dodgers. Dodgers, one of the lowest strikeout rate teams in the league, and they are one of the highest walk rate teams in the league. Got lefties, they got righties in there. I prefer them to have a little bit more righties in there. I prefer them just to have more strikeout bats in there. But 3.5, I rolled with the under. It's at 4.5. It might come back to 3.5. Who knows? I would take the under on either of those, but I'm not unhappy with my under 3.5 strikeouts. Last up, Clayton Kershaw, before we get to the turd bomb scores. Last up, Clayton Kershaw under 7.5 strikeouts. I got some -121 over at Caesars. You can get it at -115 over at MGM and -120 most other places. Kershaw, Great pitcher, obviously. Not an awful matchup going up against Cincinnati, but Cincinnati is not really a big strikeout rate team. They're right around league average. Still fairly patient. Cruz coming in the lineup is going to help out. Kershaw been very good so far this season. Been very good, sitting at a 30% K rate, but not the longest leash. Will generally go 6 innings. He sit the under at this at a pretty decent clip. 7.5, too high of a number. Before we get to home run bets, check out our sponsor, Shady Rays, fantastic independent sunglass company, offering great protection on anything you lose or break it. Get a or a new pair of sunglasses. Boom, that's it. You just tell them, no questions asked. They've donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. If you don't love them, get a new pair or exchange them for a full refund within 30 days. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the new year. Go to shadyrays.com and use promo code ROTOGRINDERS for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The Shades rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. Let's get some home run bets. Got 2 in the Milwaukee game. First, we got Rowdy Tellez going back to the well again. I know I bet him a lot. Plus 600 to hit a home run. Going up against Bradish. Bradish giving up a decent amount of hard contact to the lefties. Not a ton of fly balls, but Tellez has a pretty extreme fly ball lean. Sitting at 45.9% this season. Sitting at 42.7% since the beginning of last season. Got a ton of power, 35 home runs last season, 12 home runs already this season. I'm rolling it with it. Same thing with Adames, getting him at plus 500 to hit a home run. Bradish giving up a lot of hard contact, a lot of fly balls to righties, decent amount of home runs, sitting around 1.5 per 9 since the beginning of last season. He is a solid power. 139 games last year. Has 9 RA this season. I'm rolling with it. And then Ohtani, plus 330 to home run at bet 365. Ohtani, one of the best home run hitters in the league. Going up against Smiley. Yes, it is lefty-lefty, but I really don't care too much. Smiley pretty much splits neutral and giving up power. 2 lefties here. So overall, I think Ohtani, decent chance at a bomb here. Better chance than plus 330 odds would imply. That's it. That's the show. My favorite bets: Chase Anderson under 3.5 strikeouts, minus 121 at Caesars. Graham Ashcraft under 3.5 strikeouts, plus 130. Clayton Kershaw under 7.5 strikeouts, minus 115. Good luck, guys. I'm out of here. Play, kids.